Thank you for having me here. I'm glad to give you a very quick glimpse at some of the things that are going on, but I wanted to set a little context for this. And the context is, what does our energy future look like? And there's two themes that we ought to all take away when we think about our energy future. Our energy future will be more expensive and it will be greener than the current circumstances are. And that's just part of the realities that we need to embrace, understand, and work towards. The green aspect of it isn't just a good idea, but it will actually be our most economic choices going forward, because we are in fact running lower and lower on available, inexpensive supplies of fossil fuels, the whole range of fossil fuels. And so as those peter out more and more in terms of being available for us, the costs will be going up, and the alternatives, Cape Wind and other alternatives, will look increasingly attractive economically. And second, the climate change issues, to the degree they're caused by man, to the degree they're not caused by man, are nonetheless real, and we know that by emitting less carbon dioxide, it has a chance of keeping the global warming growth slowing down. So I do want to remind everyone that this is not just a temporary phenomenon. This is not a drill. This is not one panic moment when prices spike and then they're going to go back down and we can go back to our more comfortable ways of behaving around energy. This, in fact, is the part of a transformation to a very different energy future than we have had up to now. And I am very thankful that our governor, our lieutenant governor, speaker, Senate president, the entire legislature really recognizes this as a core issue and embraces the ramifications of this, and have moved forward with a very sweeping, significant legislation to really equip us as best we possibly can to do the best job we can at creating our new energy future. So there's lots going on, lots of legislative initiatives, lots of other initiatives, and it's all with this one goal of getting us ready for a different energy world that we need to be prepared for. On the non-legislative side, it was mentioned that I'm a board member and the treasurer of the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative. This initiative was started about 4 or 5 years ago, 10 states coming together to get in front of the climate change issue, start capping and controlling and then reducing the carbon emissions from power plants. It's been a phenomenal effort of all 10 states. There's a Worcester company that was at the core of creating one of the key parts of the solution for this endeavor, World Energy Solutions. I saw their table outside here. And they provided the software to enable all these states to come together and auction off the allowances from carbon emissions to any players that wanted to participate in that. And we've had our first auction about a week and a half ago, and Massachusetts was one of the 6 states that were ready to participate in this first auction. We'll have another auction on December 17th, and then we'll be having quarterly auctions all the way forward. The allowances were almost entirely by all the states are being auctioned in that auctions, and then the monies are going to be reinvested in energy efficiency and other important energy renewables and other important energy activities. So that's one, Reggie. Second is decoupling. And I think I understand Nick may have mentioned this in his comments. Decoupling is the old world of utility regulation was utility would come in for a rate case. It would be determined how much money they need to prudently be able to recover, and it was kind of divided by the kilowatt hours that they expected to sell. And then as they would sell more kilowatt hours, it turned out they were able to increase the revenues and the earnings for the company. Our new world has to be about maximizing efficiency, reducing consumption anywhere and everywhere it makes sense. And if we're really successful with that under the old world of sell more kilowatt hours, get more earnings, it would mean that kilowatt hour sales, as they drop down, would actually could drive these utilities into peril. And so our regulatory commission, the Department of Public Utilities, has embraced and is moving forward with a process to decouple the revenues of the utility from its kilowatt hour sales. So in fact, they will not be rewarded from selling more and more kilowatt hours, and they won't be harmed by selling less. They'll still recover their prudent costs for their prudent expenses, and it's taken away from the kilowatt hour sales component of this. And that's something called decoupling, and it will make them a stronger ally for some of our efficiency activities. We've also got a Zero Net Energy Buildings Task Force. Perhaps there's some folks involved here where the governor's laid out a challenge for a team of folks to get together, and there's 60 or 70 folks are meeting regularly on putting plans together to drive our new building construction to zero net energy, all new building construction by 2030. And by 2010, we'll be issuing our first solicitation for the new state facility that will be zero net energy. And then there was a winter energy task force that was formed by the legislature and the executive branch to look at all of the options and issues that we could mobilize to help our Commonwealth deal with this very expensive winter heating concerns that were upon us.